Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, November 16th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Here, everything looks good. I'll make this link sent out to you guys here in the premium, and we should be good to go. All right, link's getting posted right there. Do you see the link sent out? All right, as people start to join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start market liquidity over here on our liquidity chart. So let me zoom out real quick, start on the daily time frame on the high-low indicator. And let's get started. On over to the 8-hour. Going down to the 4-hour. Going down to the 2-hour. A lot of these levels are not going to get hit, so it's not really a big deal that I mark these up, but I'm already marking them up, so I might as well. 1 hour right here. Yeah, a lot of these levels are probably not going to get hit till next year, but you guys can see it's going to mark these up so that you guys have an idea where liquidity is sitting, because eventually this liquidity is going to get hit. It's not just going to sit here forever and not get hit. It's going to get hit eventually, so that you have an idea of where price is likely to go at some point in the future. So let me change this to red. That right there. That right there. Going down to the 15. So it looks like prices have been consolidating here a little bit, because there are a lot of levels that are starting to kind of bunch up around this area. All right, looks like we are good to go. Got liquidity marked up. Closest level below it just got hit right now. It's currently active, this level of liquidity down here. So there's a sell liquidity that's currently running right now. It got hit pre-market, and then the closest level above over here is at 35,034. Same level from yesterday, didn't got hit yet. So still pending right there. So we got a lower level liquidity here that's currently active and running. Other than that, I'll go over here to our clean chart. 6:30, 8 o'clock. I'll go up to the 1 hour real quick, see if there's any zones here that we might want to look out for. 4 hour, actually. We got one right there. I make it a little tighter. We got the 1 hour right there. Actually, I'll leave it at that. And we got the 4 hour right there. All right. All right, so price is currently at the 1 hour support. And this is going to be the 4 hour. So we got that marked up right there. All right, so price is currently bouncing off the 1 hour level right there. Market's gonna open in about 30 seconds, guys. Let me check the news real quick, see if there's anything that we have to mark up. So we had quite a bit of news this morning again. News at, let's see. We had news at 5:30, 6:15, 7 o'clock, 7:30. Okay. So 5:30 and 6:15. Mark that up real quick. All right, guys, market is now open. $5:30, 6:15. $5:30, 6:15, 7, 7:30. That's pretty much all the news for today. We have a lot of Fed speakers today, so you want to be careful with these entries, guys. 7 and 7:30. We also have a Fed speaker at a lot of random times here. We have Fed speaker at 6:25, which he's currently speaking right now. And then we have Fed speakers at 7:30 and 7:35. So we got to be really cautious in this market today. All right, guys, so if we get another green candle right here, this is technically going to be the breakout V2 if anybody's looking to take it. Again, there's a lot of high impact news pre-market, so that's a red flag there for the breakout V2. Typically, we avoid the breakout V2 if there's high impact news pre-market. So we'll see. But anyways, if the candle here closes green, that's going to be the breakout V2. I'm going to go over to our other charts here, markup opening price, so that we have a better idea where price may return to if it does pull back down. All right, so liquidity here didn't play through. If you want to look at it, this hit pre-market, so obviously wouldn't have been taken, but you can watch for the retest of the area. If price comes back down, it's probably going to blast right through it. So just look at that same level there, just act as it never got touched, and then it might come back down at some point. But all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 16th. Market is now open. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Felix. Welcome back. Morning, Maria. Morning, Kevin. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Daniel. Morning, William. Morning, Shannon. Morning, everybody. Let's see, Joshua was asking if the Dow is bearish. I don't think so. I think it's bullish today. So what's your analysis for it being bearish? I'm just kind of curious, why do you think it's bearish? Retail sentiment is currently 70% short. This indicates that 70% of retail traders are selling right now. So we typically do the opposite and buy. That might be why you're thinking that it's bearish, because you're thinking like a retail trader, right? So if you're thinking that way, then yeah, obviously if you're thinking like the rest of the retail traders who are probably taking L's in the market, they're all on the short side. So if you think it's bearish, that's probably why, because everybody else thinks it's bearish. But for me personally, I think right now it's a bit mixed. I don't think it's necessarily bearish. I think it's more on the neutral side, but long-term direction I think would be bullish. Short-term might be bearish for like, slightly for short-term, but I think price is going to swing back up. You can see over here, price is bouncing off the 1 hour support, but I'm just curious if there's any other reason why you think it's bearish. So retail sentiment is currently bullish right now. I'll put the overall bias over here. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment is bullish. It's currently 70% short. Guys, again, if this candle closes green, this is going to be the breakout V2 if anybody's looking to take it. I'm not going to take the trade here because obviously, as I mentioned, there's high impact news pre-market. I don't like taking trades when market is moving like that. But I'm going to mark it up for you guys here for the spreadsheet. So this is the breakout V2 currently running right now. Not in this position. Fundamental bias is currently, say, neutral. Short-term technicals, long-term technicals. All right, so looking over here at the short term, you can see that price is pretty much bullish neutral for the short term, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute. You can see price on the 1 minute is above the pivots, 5 minute prices in between, 10 minute prices in between. Longer time frames over here, it's more of a bullish neutral. You can see the 30 minutes in between the pivots. However, the 1 hour and 4 hour are all bullish. So again, back to Joshua's question on YouTube, he was asking if the Dow is bearish today. I don't think it's bearish at all. I think it's more so bullish. So bullish neutral. Bullish neutral. But yeah, if you want to chime in, Joshua, let me know why you think it's bearish. Now that I've looked at it, I don't think it's bearish at all. I can't really see why people think it's bearish right now. Everything is pretty much bullish right now. 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes pretty much going to be bullish. Everything's kind of swinging to the upside. So I'm not sure reason for you thinking it's bearish, but if you might see something that I don't see. So I'm kind of curious. Like maybe there's something that you see on a different time frame, or maybe you see something coming back down, but it's also bouncing off the 1 hour support too. So I don't think it'll come back down. If it does come back down, it's probably going to come back to opening price right here. Maybe fake out again, come right back up. But I think long-term direction is going to be bullish. Anyways, back to the main chart over here. The breakout V2 still has not played out. ATR is currently 15 right now. It's not horrible, but it's not great. So it's still kind of it's a rangy market right now at the moment. Again, I'm not in this position, so I have no stake in that. I'm just following it for the spreadsheet, but right now there's just nothing for us to take here at the moment. It's currently 636 right now. The trend hasn't shifted its confirmation yet. So it's still kind of neutral at the moment. Looking over here at our clean chart again, if there's new zones that come up in between, I'll come up and mark them up. But at the moment right now, there is nothing at the nothing at the moment. Here's our liquidity prices pushing up. And the closest level of liquidity is going to be right here. So if price continues to climb up, price may try to reach the level of liquidity here and continue climbing up from there. But again, there's no saying where price is going to go, right? I think price is going to range here for a bit, and then eventually it's going to swing back up. Looking back at the news for today, let me check real quick. So all the news here was negative, right? All of the high impact news this morning was negative. So I can see why a lot of people might be looking for a sell, but I think price might do the complete opposite, swing right back up. So news happened over here. Let's go to our clean chart. News happened right here. It came up, came down, now it's coming back up. Again, I'm not in this position right here, guys. I'm just following it. Take a screenshot of that, add that to the spreadsheet. If it doesn't play through, if it plays through, great. If it doesn't, that's fine, because we're not in this position here. So I think the breakout V2 is still a good strategy, guys. It's just very tricky. Like you have to really know when to either take partials, or you have to know when to just sit out of the trade. So for example, today I mentioned that I was going to sit out of the trade and I was even going to look at it because of the pre-market news, right? The problem is that there's pre-market news almost every day now. When we first started using the breakout V2, there wasn't pre-market news every day. The market was actually pretty smooth. Lately, there's been pre-market news literally every day, and it's been super heavy with the Fed speaking because of the interest rates and inflation that's been kind of crazy over the past couple of weeks and past couple of months. So the breakout V2, I think, is good. It's just you have to either take it for a partial, like what Patricia said over here. She said you got to take it for 10 points. Yeah, you just got to be quick in and out of that position because it does hit 10 points, but I think 25 is kind of difficult, right? You can see right here, like this is a breakout. So for the breakout, price is supposed to go straight to TP. It's not supposed to kind of bounce around like it's doing right now, right? This is why we stopped applying the breakout, because we've been getting a lot of this sideways movement here. You can see our price kind of goes up, comes down, comes back up. There's just no certainty if your TP is going to get hit right away. So that's why I personally don't like taking the breakout. The breakout is still running, it's in profit. But again, I'm not really looking to take it here at the moment. No problem, Joshua. Hey, Brock, how's it going? Good morning. So the trade is still running right now. ATR is currently 16. It's not horrible. I think there might be a momentum pullback scalp that already got hit. Yeah, so price came right here. It would have filled right here. So there's a momentum pullback scalp and it already just hit full TP, guys. I don't know if anybody was looking to take that, but price pushed up right here. Actually, I take that back. I don't think it's hit yet because the trend has not confirmed. So we can still use this level for a momentum pullback scalp, or we can use this momentum. The only thing that we have to wait for here is we have to wait for the trend here to shift. The red pivot still isn't below all the other pivots. So this momentum signal here is still valid. So just gotta let it climb up a little bit. Once it climbs up, we may have opportunity here for entry. Still no confirmation of trend just yet. So we're basically waiting for the trend here to shift. Once the trend has shifted, we can start looking for some possible entries. Trend has not shifted yet. Here is our clean chart. I guess I can mark new zones here. New resistance right there. These are 5 minutes of confluence. All right, so the breakout V2 is still currently running. It's been going back and forth for some time now. The trend here is starting to shift. So once it shifts, there might be a setup here for a momentum pullback scalp if anybody's looking to take it. Next news event's right here at 7 o'clock. So we still have about 19 minutes till then. All right, we kind of need price to push up a little bit. Once it pushes up, it might set up for a momentum pullback scalp. All right, so we need one more green candle here. If we get a green candle here, I think the trend will confirm. Trend still hasn't confirmed yet. Or actually, it did. All right, so if this candle here closes red, there may be a momentum pullback scalp entry that can maybe setting up right here at 35,010. Patricia said she wants that to push up, then pull back. Too much indecision. Yeah, I agree too, Patricia. Right now, there's just too much indecision. Breakout V2 just hit full TP, guys. So if anybody took breakout V2, it was a messy trade, but it did hit TP. So it met criteria and went back and forth for a bit, but it did hit TP right there. So there goes the breakout V2. I'll add that to the spreadsheet here. Entry came up at 635. So finally a breakout right there. Hitting 11, 16, 23, 635. It was a buy. It was a win. 251. Heavy range. All right, so we got this right here. All right, so there goes a breakout V2, full TP on the breakout V2 for anybody who decided to take that there. I think liquidity just got hit too. So liquidity is currently active right now if anybody's in this liquidity push. I'm not in this position right here, but I did mark up liquidity there pre-market. Price is currently running. We have a possible setup here for a momentum pullback scalp. So if we get a red candle, it's going to set up for a momentum pullback scalp. And then also we may have a high-low scalp V2 setting up as well. So as I've mentioned before, guys, I typically don't use any levels that come up prior to market open. Market open right here at 6:30. So I'm not going to use this other level right here. The first level I'll be using is this one right here, but it's not going to be, unless price pulls back super hard, it's probably not going to fill, right? So we'll see. I think price might be a bit overextended right here as well. Not yet, almost. So again, guys, if this candle closes red, the entry is either going to happen right here at the 30 mark or at the 20 mark. If it drops lower, it's going to be at the 20. If it drops higher, it's going to be here at the 30. I might wait for it to pull back a little bit, and I'll look for it to put a buy stop there and just catch it as it swings right back up. If I have time for it, but we'll see. So it looks like the entry might happen down here at the 20. Yeah, so the entry would happen down here at the 20 mark, guys, if you guys are looking to take this entry here for the momentum pullback scalp. Looks like it might set up here for the high-low scalp V2 if you're using the previous level. Again, I don't use the previous level, so I'm not going to take this trade here. I'll just follow it and we'll see where it goes. But I typically want to take the level after, once market is open. Market open here at 6:30, so this level is pre-market. Looks like it might have already hit TP by now, almost. So there goes a high-low scalp V2. You guys can use the previous levels. I just don't like using the previous levels on the 1 minute. If it's something like the 5 minute, I wouldn't mind using that, but yeah, lower time frames, not so much. Damn, this thing is just shot straight up to the 4-hour resistance. So full TP right there for the high-low scalp V2, guys. If anybody caught that, full TP. I was kind of tempted to take it because I did mark the level up prior, but I got to stick to my rules. You just got to stick to your game plan. Even if this comes up, my game plan was to only follow levels after market open, and it went straight through. So if anybody caught that, nice work. I'll go ahead and add that to the spreadsheet. This entry came up at 6:45. $6.45 is for a buy, win 300. So this was actually a perfect entry. It just didn't meet my criteria, so I didn't take it. But if you guys took it, another full TP right there for the high-low scalp V2. Yeah, Andreas said this high-low hit with literally no drawdown. Yeah, this is the type of entry that we typically look for. So this is the setup that we typically look for, and it usually plays out pretty nice. We might have another setup here for a momentum pullback scalp, guys. Price is a little bit overextended, but if you guys are looking to take it, it's going to be right here. I'll probably wait for a little bit of a pullback, and then I will look for opportunity for entry to put my buy stop as it swings back up. So right here at the 60 mark, looks like where the entry is going to be. If it doesn't happen right there, it's probably going to happen lower at the 50 mark. It's kind of hard to put a pending order for something like this. I might just have to enter manually, but I'm going to watch for it to pull down a little bit, and then I'll try to catch it as it swings right back up. So the entry is going to be here at the 35,060 mark. You guys are looking to take it. It's in a lot of areas of sessions, though, so you want to be a little careful too. The price is coming down. All right, looks like it is currently active now. Let's see where it's at. Looks kind of weird on FTMO. Let me see. I think it's because of the spread, probably. Yeah, so I'm waiting for it to pull down a little bit, and when it swings back up, I'll probably try to get into this entry here. So we'll see. I'll watch it right here. I don't think I can put a pending order. It's probably gonna move too fast. So I'll probably have to enter it manually. Let me see if I can just put it in real quick. See, the candle is at the green one. Yeah, because the spread's kind of wide, so I don't want to get caught in the spread. I'm gonna let it kind of pull down a little bit. Once it pulls down a little further, I'll put my buy stop right there. So when it swings up, it'll just go straight to where it needs to go. So let's watch it right here first. Still not in it. Just waiting for it to pull back a little more because the spread right now is kind of wide. So I think if I get in, it's going to kind of screw up my position. The spread is changing on FTMO. Okay, so I think this is a good area where I can put my buy stop. Let's give it some time. All right, so now I'll just watch it, guys. I'm not in the position yet. I just put a buy stop, so I'm kind of just waiting for it to swing back up. All right, we have to I have to cancel the order, guys, because if this here closes with a sell signal, this technically indicates that that you're supposed to pull out for a small loss. That's the good thing about this strategy is that you have the option. If you want to pull out for a small loss and you want to follow the strategy as is, then you would pull out right here for the small loss. So instead of taking the full loss here, you get out at like 16, which is partial. So you see, I just canceled my order, guys. I'm not in the position here. I didn't get into it. What happened was when price came down right here, I said I was going to put a buy stop because I wanted price to kind of pull back a little bit due to the overextension. You can see price pushed up from this area right here up to this point. When it gets to 1,000 pips, that's where I consider kind of, a bit overextended. So that's why I canceled my move there. And it's setting up for a V1 like Vince just said. So if that's the case, price might start climbing up a bit higher from where it's at. Hopefully it does, just corrects back up. But again, it's up to you guys if you guys want to pull out. If you want to pull out, feel free. If you want to hold on to it, you can also hold on to it. The only problem here is that there's a lot of areas of manipulation, right? You guys can see the red line right here and the purple line. These are session high lows. So the purple line is the Asia session high low, and the red line over here is the London session high low. So it's just areas where price tends to get manipulated a lot. There's no other entries here at the moment. Let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. I'm just being a little conservative today. This week in general. It's also at a 4-hour resistance too. So let's see if price ends up, just swinging back up. It might continue to swing up higher from where it's currently at. That'd probably be best case scenario. Because looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 71% short. So there's a lot of retail traders trying to catch the top. They're selling right here. And ideally, price would continue to climb up higher. I think the fundamentals here are currently, they're more on the neutral side now. Let's see, I'll put this 10 points. There goes, price swings back up. So if you guys are still holding on to it, I'll just leave this up here so that you guys can see. But you guys can see where price is having trouble getting past. See this red line right here? This is the London. Let me see. I took the labels off. It's the London high. Nice. So Vince over there caught the V1 for a partial move. Kevin over here also. Yeah, Kevin said shouldn't have been in it. A lot of red flags. Yeah, the red flags here are key, guys, because you can see where price is having trouble getting past. I think if the London high over here and the Asia high wasn't in this area, price would have an easier time just going right back up, right? But because of these price points right here, price is having trouble making that climb higher from where it's currently at. So I'm hoping it swings back up. The V1 variation did hit TP. So if you took the V1 variation down here, it did hit TP. Went straight to TP right there. But yeah, other than that, price is climbing on its way back up, which is a good thing right here. So, I mean, technically, if you're still holding on to the momentum pullback scalp, it's currently still running right now in profit right there. So hopefully it continues to climb up higher from where it's currently at. I like that the retail sentiment is up because I think that will cause price to continue climbing up from where it's currently at. So we'll see where this goes from here. Oh, what the heck? That's so weird. So earlier I canceled my order for the momentum pullback scalp. It looks like it just kind of filled, but it gave me like some partial profit. It hit the green strip. That's weird. MT4 has been acting kind of weird lately. Like the other day with my lot size, I think yesterday, and then I put my pending order there, and I swear I canceled it because I didn't see the line here on my MT4, but it looks like it's still filled. So if you guys remember earlier, price was down below here, and I said I was going to put a pending order, and then when price came down here, I canceled it, or at least I thought I canceled it, and then I just saw right here that I got a green strip on my account. It didn't give me a full TP, it gave me a partial, but it did hit the full TP green strip. It's kind of weird. I don't know if anybody else's MT4 has been acting weird, but it's been acting weird for me this week. My lot size has been changing. My stop loss has been kind of weird. I tried to cancel. I thought I canceled my order, but then, yeah, I don't know. Well, anyways, I'll just give you guys a little update here. Definitely wasn't the V1 variation. All right, so I guess, something happened there with mine. It gave me some profit, so I'm assuming let me see my entry point. My entry point was at 34,993. Yeah, so this was from that same pending order that I just put up right there. All right, well, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and just put the there might be another entry setting up right here. I'll just put this up over here so that you guys know where the profits came from. I'm not going to count this one though as one of the entries because I said I was going to cancel it and I thought I did, but I don't know what happened. Also, that entry is supposed to be pulled out too, so it was supposed to be pulled out for a partial loss for 100 pips if you followed the criteria as it was supposed to be applied. But anyways, let me just take a screenshot of it so that you guys can see. But for whatever reason, my MT4, it might be time for me to make a switch from MT4 to MT5 because the platform is kind of buggy. It's been buggy for a while now. There's no other entries available right now. There might be a high-low scalp V2 that's currently setting up, but price is super overextended right now, so I'm not really looking to take it just yet. I kind of want it to pull back a little bit, and I'll look to take it. And there's also news at 7 o'clock, so I'm definitely not going to take the momentum pull, the high-low scalp V2. Thanks, Maddie, for the reminder. So there's a high-low scalp V2 setting up right here. However, there's news coming up right here at 7 o'clock, so definitely not going to be one of the entries that I plan on taking. I'm just going to take a screenshot of my profits. This trade is not going to be added to the spreadsheet because that entry is supposed to be canceled then for whatever reason. It activated. Yeah, so weird. All my profits on like all my accounts are super spread out too. You guys will kind of see the this is why I don't like putting pending orders, and I like to just enter manually, because when you put a pending order, sometimes stuff like this will happen. You don't even realize that you get filled into the order. I'm sure this has happened to a lot of people where you have a random win out of nowhere, and then you can't remember like what you did, but it ends up being a position that you kind of placed and put pending for a long time ago. You forgot to delete it. So I think I'm gonna have to chill out on these pending orders. I might be making some mistakes here. Maybe I just incorrectly deleted it or canceled it, but for some reason it hit for me. All right, so you'll see that I had partial profit, and I'll take a screenshot of the individual profits later so that you guys can see. I won't do it right now because we're kind of busy, but I'll take my individual screenshots later because I do have the green strip on the position there. So this is a position that I took. You can see I locked in 980. I was supposed to lock in 2000. Everything kind of cut me out halfway. I think there was some slippage on my entry. I was talking about that earlier. The spread was kind of wide, so I think the spread kind of screwed me, and I ended up getting in and out for partial profit. However, I do have the green strip indicating that it did hit full TP. So we'll come back to it. All right, we got news right here at 7 o'clock, guys. Let me check the calendar real quick. News at 7 o'clock is NAHB Housing Market Index. Then we have natural gas stocks at 7:30. So housing market index right here. It's forecasted to be neutral. So we'll see what happens there. Hoping the volatility starts to move a bit smoother, but it's still pretty flat right now. All right, so we got the news right there. News has not come up yet, but the market is starting to get a little flat. There's no momentum pullback scalps that are available right here at the moment. Currently, the high-low scalp V2 is currently running in profit. The ETR is super low though, guys. So if you guys want to take this position, I would probably recommend, going for a partial. It's hard because I know that you guys want to hold it for a full move, but it says home builder sentiment drops to lowest point in the year, but falling rates spurs some optimism. It's kind of weird. So like the housing market index, it was like, I think last month it was kind of high. The month before that was kind of high. And then now they're back to coming back down. I don't know. This market that we're in is kind of tricky. It's like, there's just so many different factors going on with the recession, war, the elections. There's just too many things going on. But again, guys, the ATR is super low right here. So you can see this high-low scalp V2. It's currently running, but it's kind of going back and forth. Let's see. Yeah, so it's negative. So they're forecasting it to be 40. Those 34 is worse than expected. And you can see the market reaction to the news right here as price comes down lightly. It might come down slightly, then it might swing right back up. I think this here might just be a fake out, and then we'll just drop price slightly for the retail traders and whatnot, and then they'll bring price right back up. But yeah, it was definitely like way too close. Let's see. Andrew said he's been having small issues with NinjaTrader too. Orders not canceling. Yeah, so it looks like there might be problems like all around, like with different brokers and different platforms. It's just some people are having issues with orders not canceling. So if you guys do cancel an order, make sure you double check, triple check, quadruple check, check as many times as possible to make sure that it's canceled. With FTMO or with MT4 in general, it's kind of harder because it's not as streamlined as like Tradeovate. Because Tradeovate, there's a button where it says cancel all. You can just cancel everything. With FTMO, you have to actually look on your chart and you have to right click to cancel it. There's no cancel all button here, unfortunately, at least not one that I'm aware of. So it kind of throws me off with canceling it. Sometimes you need to check your phone. So if you guys are canceling a trade on your computer, the thing with the computer, guys, is if you guys are on a Mac, so I think that's the problem with me, is that I'm trading on a Mac. The platform for MT4 is not native. It's running off Wine, which is like a virtual server. So whenever you guys cancel something on MT4 on your computer, make sure to check your phone, right? Check something that's native. So pull up MT4 platform on your phone, and you might be better just canceling it off on there because that's an actual platform that's native to MT4. And if you do cancel something on there, it's probably going to actually cancel. So just keep that in mind, guys. Going back to the entry over here. So I'm glad that we didn't take this entry here. It's based off the news. Next entry coming up would be up here if we do have a buy. So I'll just drag this over. Yeah, Daniel said that there is a high level momentum that just got hit. Yeah, so there's a higher high right there. This sell signal broken close below pivots 1 and 2, and then now it's coming down super heavy. You know, one thing that I noticed lately is that these V1 variations have been hitting pretty nicely. So I think that's something you should focus on, Vince, because I know that's one of your favorite strategies. And it's been hitting pretty nicely. So there's more levels of liquidity here that got hit, guys. I'm not sure if anybody caught these other ones. I'd come back to take a look, but there was 2 more levels here that got hit. So one more right here. And another one right here. So all 3 levels of liquidity here got hit full TP. If you guys took any of the levels here that I marked up, again, guys, I mark these up every day pre-market. So if you guys want to take these levels, make sure to come on the live session early enough to identify these levels with me, because I marked all these levels up here, and you can see that every level here got hit. First level, full TP, no drawdown. Second level, full TP, no drawdown. Third level right here, full TP, no drawdown. So it played out perfectly. You can see as price starts to come back down right here. This is completely fine if it ends up doing this, because obviously looks like it'll swing back up. So we got 2 levels right here. You guys can see the fake out, how the fake out kind of played through. So you guys can see over here how price kind of climbed up a little bit. It faked out right here. And then now it's climbing back down to this next level. So I'd watch out for this level right here, because 1 of 2 things will happen. Price will either come down to this point, bounce off, and shoot right back up, or price might break below and come back to opening price down here. Maybe test support. I don't think it'll come down this far though. I think this is a pretty long shot for price to come down this far. I think price might just fake out right here and come right back up, and then bounce in between these this resistance level over here and maybe the support. But we'll see. So Barack said, "Shop, from what I remember, the absence of copiers for C-Trader kept you off the platform. I've used a copier with them in case you're interested." I'll probably take a look, Barack. The only problem is that I wish I could switch between like platforms, but all of my accounts are on MT4 or MT5, so it's hard for me to switch them over, right? Because I need to have the ability to copy my accounts that are currently active. Another V1 variation right there. Maddie just identified it. I don't know if you saw that, Vince. There's another V1 right there. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, it's actually pretty solid. I wish I saw that. I didn't even see it, but it's a pretty nice move right there. It would have been nice if it came down to the support level though, right? So if it came down lower to the next support level down here and bounced directly off it, because I pretty much marked it up. I said price is going to come down here, probably bounce off and come right back up. The thing is, it didn't come all the way back down, but it did have a V1 variation right there. Pretty solid right there. So if you guys caught that, nice work. We've been taking a lot of V1 variations this week, so it's probably something to maybe look out for if you guys are looking for some entries, because they do play out pretty well. The thing with the V1 variation is that if you have it at a lower low or a higher high, the odds of it hitting are even higher. So like whenever you see it at a lower low or a higher high, it tends to provide that as a floor, right? The floor or the top or the bottom, and it usually bounces off those areas pretty nicely. So, all right, there's no other areas here for us to take. We need to get a buy signal here. Until we get a buy signal, there's not going to be any more momentum pullback scalps. The high-low scalp V2 over here is currently, it's kind of just going back and forth. Here's our clean chart right now. Price is now looking like it's going to range within this area here. So you can see how price came down, faked out, came back up, Bounce off the 4-hour resistance. Now it's coming back down. So we might have a range within this area. ATR right now is currently 17, so it's not horribly bad. It's actually pretty decent right now. Hoping it'd be around like 20 or higher, but we'll work with 17 as long as it stays above 15. Here is our 5-minute 5-minute time frame. I think there was an entry here that ran through already. Actually, the trend here hasn't shifted yet. So the trend here still has not confirmed on the 5-minute. So there's nothing there. Yeah, Alan said you need to have Maddie talking in your ear like a secret agent. Yeah, if anything, Maddie might hop on the mic at some point. I know we kind of talked about it before, but if anything, you might just have me and Maddie discussing stuff like we don't have to do that. I mean, it just depends. Some people like voice, some people don't. But yeah, no, it's a good idea. Yeah, because me and Maddie typically look at the same thing. We're usually looking at the same red flags. We're looking at the same entries, etc. If we make the V1 variation one of the official strategies again for our live sessions, then that probably would be helpful. I'm contemplating on adding it to the list of strategies because it's just such a good strategy, right? The V1 variation is good. The only problem is that there's so many red flags that you need to look out for. So, I mean, we can probably apply the V1 variation over here on the main chart. We just need to have the overall bias. The reason why we stopped applying the V1 so much is because there wasn't a bias during the summer. But now that we're starting to get a bias here in the winter session, we can probably add the V1 variation to this chart because it's easy to see. And then we also have all the red flags on the chart. So possibility, and we'll see how we decide to move forward with that, say, next couple months or so. But I think a V1's it's a good addition and it's not too much work to actually look for. But yeah, 2-3 strategies max for sure for these live sessions. I know there's other strategies that you can apply, something like the high-low momentum scalp that like Daniel likes to identify and take. But that's where things start to get a bit more confusing. Let's see, Alan is asking, MT4 will not work on Chromebook. Is that correct? Chromebook, honestly, I have no idea. A Chromebook is, if that runs Windows, then it should be able to run MT4. It won't work on Mac though. So if you're using a Mac, there's no Mac native platform. There's a virtual platform that works, which is what I'm using, but it's not the same thing. It's running on a virtual server or a virtual system. It's slightly different. Yeah, I'm not sure what iOS Chromebook runs. I'm assuming they run Windows. Let's see, Andreas said he also uses a Mac and Vine for MT5, but in depth of market, it was only the option for a sell. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right, Andreas? So Andreas said that he uses a Mac as well for MT5. And for whatever reason, his only option for depth of market is to take sells. So yeah, that's the problem when you use a non-native platform. There's another V1 variation right here, Maddie. I'm not sure if anybody's looking to take it. I missed it, so it happened too quickly. I'll follow it here for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. Of course, it's kind of too late. So the ATR is currently 15 right now. So you could probably do a 15-15. It's going to be a little tight, but if you wanted to do this for a 1-to-1 risk to reward, that's where it would be. But if you guys wanted to do the original, it'd just be a 10-30 split. It just depends on the person. Yeah, I mean, bounced right off the support. So that'd been a perfect entry, Maddie. Yeah, I didn't even see it. It's all good. It's probably gonna hit though. Okay. All right, so let's see. Yeah, Andreas sat on it. Maddie sat on it. Vince caught it for a partial. I'm glad you're catching partials, Vince. If you don't feel comfortable with the position, just take the partial. Those partials are going to add up, and you're just going to be profitable overall. So I think this whole area here is just kind of a tricky area to trade in, like we were mentioning earlier. It's just there's just a lot of uncertainty with regards to direction of price and stuff. And I think the support here is also a kind of tricky area as well, because if you guys remember my markup from earlier, I was mentioning that price has two scenarios here. Price will either come down, bounce off, or it might come down and break through. So, price is overextended too, so it's about time for it to come down and kind of retrace. But again, I didn't take the position, so I don't have anything here. I'm just kind of watching to see where price goes. Yeah, that was smart, Vince, and I'm glad you did, because look where price is at now, right? You made the smart decision there. Sometimes you just got to go with your intuition. If you feel like the trade is kind of risky, I think this whole area here is kind of risky because the volatility is dying down a little bit, and there's just nothing for us to gauge here, because price is going back and forth between the levels. It's kind of just like in a huge range if you think about it. Let me see if there's any other levels here for us to identify. But for our two main strategies, the high-low scalp V2, there's nothing here. The closest level is way up here. Price hasn't came back up yet. And then I'm going to take this off so you guys don't think I'm in the position. The only other position that we're looking for would be the momentum pullback scalp. There's no buy signal here, so there's no momentum pullback scalp. If price decides to continue climbing down lower, that's completely fine. We can continue looking for sells. But at the moment right now, there's just nothing for us to take here. If anything, we might see a possible sell come up, but we'll see where this goes. So let's take a look at retail sentiment again. Retail sentiment is currently 72% short. So obviously we're still looking for buys here. The fundamentals are pretty much flat at the moment. All right, there's nothing for us here. We need to wait for we just have to wait for the trend to confirm. There's no trend right now. As you can see over here, the pivots are kind of crossing over, but they're not confirmed to be bearish or bullish yet. So whether the pivots cross above the red pivot here, which is level 4, that's going to be bullish. If the pivots cross below the red pivot here, then it's going to be bearish. But again, you just have to wait. You just have to wait for the markets kind of show its direction. There's no direction yet. Yeah, Andrea said it seems that it tries to lure sellers. Alan is asking, repeat that please with pivots. Are you talking about the trend, Alan? So, it's been the same concept. So like basically if price is above the pivots, it's bullish. If price is below the pivots, it's bearish, right? It's pretty obvious. If you just look at a clean chart and you see how price moves with the pivots, like, let me see if I could even pull up a clean chart here. Sorry, I don't have any clean charts here. Here, I'll just show you. Let me just take everything off here. So it's kind of just using your common sense in a sense with it. See, whenever price is above the pivots, it's bullish, right? Whenever price is below the pivots, it's bearish. The red pivot is level 4. That's the highest level pivot. So if the pivots are all below the level 4 pivot, then it's bearish, right? It's kind of going hand in hand with looking at price. Same with the other direction. If price is above the pivots and you can see the red pivot that's below all the other pivots, it's going to indicate that price is bullish, right? I think a lot of this stuff will make more sense when you have the actual indicators, Alan, because you'll be able to see it yourself on your chart. But it's pretty, like, it's kind of a common sense thing, but I just break it down and I explain it so people actually understand. But it's pretty obvious when price is above the pivots, bullish, price below, bearish. But you can see, like, for example, here, when the pivots are kind of crossing over and they're not very clear, that's where you don't really have a direction. But for the most part, you're looking for price to be below the pivots and you're looking for all the pivots to basically be angling in one direction. But yeah, this stuff will make a lot more sense when you have the actual indicators and you can kind of just see it on your chart. because it's just a pattern that kind of just rolls through, and you'll see it happen very often. Like for example, right here, see how the pivots are kind of weird looking. Let me go real quick. So right here, you can see how the pivots are starting to shift. Once they all start shifting down, like you see all 4 pivots looking to the downside, and they're like kind of fanned out, you'll see that, okay, price is bearish. But right here, you can see that they're trying to fan out, but they're not there yet, right? You can see the red pivots in between all the other ones. You're basically just focusing on the red. And if you want to make changes here too, you can also turn on, like you can make the red pivot super thick. Right. And then if you have it super thick like that, you're like, okay, for sure. Like whenever price is above it or below, that's how you'll know. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to help you see things better. But yeah, it all just comes with repetition, because you'll see it enough times and you're like, okay, this is bearish or this is bullish. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely, Alan. I think these are going to help you a lot, because I think when you have these indicators on your chart, I created them all for a specific. I created them for a specific reason. They're not just random indicators. Like I'm not just giving out indicators and like, oh, like you can use this for something, right? All these indicators kind of go hand in hand with each other. Like you can confirm the trend on 2 different levels, the pivots and the trend meter down below. And a lot of people don't like indicators, but the indicators work well if you use them for a specific reason. Like there's no like super indicator that's like, oh, buy and sell here, right? You kind of have to use things in conjunction with each other. And I use them to just help me see things a lot quicker. Because for example, if you didn't have the indicators on your chart, like if you had a clean chart like this, imagine how difficult it would be to see, okay, what's the trend right now, right? What is the trend right now? Where are the levels? Where are the session high lows? Where are the high lows at? All that stuff. But since I created these indicators here, it pretty much does everything for you. So instead of having to think about all that stuff, you just look down at the trend meter. It's red. Pivots are angling down. Okay, price is attempting to be bearish here, right? If you want to look for the levels here, you know where the red flags are, because we have the session high right there for the London session high and Asia high right there. So I'm always like looking for things to make trading a lot more efficient. These aren't random indicators. These indicators are meant for a reason. So definitely could help you guys with just seeing things that a lot of normal people can't see. Like you can't really see this stuff with the naked eye unless you know what you're looking for. See, Vincent, price is overextended. Yeah, price is super overextended right here. I probably would just wait a bit. It's probably going to correct back up once it gets to an area. Let's see, Ellen is asking, now if gold crosses over the red, will that mean anything? Well, there's different ways to do it too, Ellen. So if you don't want to use all the indicators, because you technically don't have to use all of the pivots here, right? If you want to take off the other pivots and you want to make it super, super simple, you just take off level 1 and 2. And like you said, the gold one, right? Whenever the gold one crosses, that's where price is going. So if you just have the gold and red one, which is level 3 and 4, this will kind of give you the trend, but on a quicker level. So you don't have to look at the other colors, right? So if you want to make it super duper simple, you can see here, whenever the gold one crosses below, price is bearish. Whenever the gold one crosses above, price is bullish. But yeah, you should just watch the video, Alan. So we don't have to explain this stuff, like, because a lot of this stuff is in the videos. So I'd recommend just probably looking at the videos. Like, thanks, Maddie, for kind of saying that, because we're trading right now live, so I don't want to explain this stuff. All these questions are meant for the mentoring sessions, and they're meant for the course videos, right? If you guys have any questions regarding the market right now, then ask me anything about the market. But if you want to learn about the indicators and like how things work, just check out the videos or attend the mentoring session. But it's all good, Alan. I know you're new and you're not new, but you're new to the indicators. And I know it's really exciting once you figure something out that kind of like, it might just set off a light bulb in your head. Like, oh, now that I have this indicator, I can like trade a certain way. Because it does work very well once you figure out how everything kind of goes hand in hand. And you don't have to trade my strategies. You can use my indicators and still trade your own strategies. And there's so many different ways to use them for. Yeah, Maddie said he still watches the videos and it helps him a lot. Yeah. Even myself, guys, I review the video sometimes. And I created the strategies, I created the indicators, but I review the video sometimes. And sometimes it shows me new things to look for in the market. So as you guys know, the market's always changing. So you have to be able to adapt with the market. You can't just be stuck. You can't be a sitting duck in the market. Because if you're just a sitting duck doing the same thing over and over again, you're probably going to get shot down at some point, right? And then you're going to keep getting shot down because it's not feasible. We got news coming up right here at 7:30, guys. The market is not doing anything right here. As you guys can see, there's no confirmation of trends. There's nothing for us to look at. Yeah, there's just nothing here right now. So again, looking over here at the high-low scalp V2, we need the confirmation of trend. So we need price to either correct back up, and we need the pivots here to shift to confirm the bullish trend, or if price comes back down further, we need price to confirm the bearish trend, right? Doesn't really matter which direction it goes. I'm fine with whichever. I could take buys, I could take sells. I just need to have a confirmation of direction. So until we get that, there's just nothing for us to take here right now specifically. Let's see if there's anything else here. So looking over here at the trend, guys, short-term bias right now is currently neutral at the moment. You can see prices in between the pivots, not really doing much. Long-term over here is currently bullish. So long-term trend bias over here is bullish. Short-term trend bias is bullish neutral, more on the neutral side. Looking over at the fundamentals, the fundamentals over here are currently neutral. The retail sentiment over here is currently 70% short. So again, this confirms that retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. So we have that there. Yeah, there's just nothing for us here to really take or look at. It's just a waiting game right now. It's currently 7:26, so we do have some time here. We have some time to wait for some confirmation. But again, there's just no confirmation right now. So we're just waiting. And the volatility's died down a lot, guys. So if you guys can see over here, the ATR is currently, well, it's back to 16. It was at 15 earlier. But you can see whenever the ATR goes down, so like say 15, 14, the market just starts to go sideways. You can see right here, it's not really doing too much. It's just going sideways around this area. Right here, let's go over our clean chart, see if there's any adjustments that we can make. Not really too much. There's not really too much here. So yeah, Andreas over here mentioned that a high-low momentum scalp just hit. Yeah, this one right here. So nice work on identifying that. So there's a lower low right here. Again, this is another one of the strategies that you guys can learn in the course or on the YouTube channel. There's lower low right there. The buy signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2. That'd be an entry for a buy. I think the candle might have been a little too big, but actually it's fine. So 1030 split right there. Price went straight to TP and blasted right there. So there goes a high-low momentum scalp. Again, this strategy is good for a ranging market. We're currently ranging right now, so it's working out perfectly. Pretty much two of the high-low momentum scalps hit. There was one right here that hit. So that was the second one. The first one came up over here that Daniel identified. There was a higher high. Price broke and closed below pivots 1 and 2 right here with the red sell signal. And that right there was also a full TP with literally no drawdown. So 2 back-to-back wins there for the high-low momentum scalp. And as of now, we're just kind of waiting. I think we have news right here at 7:30, I believe. So we have news coming up right here, again at 7:30. We have natural gas stock change, and then we have Fed Waller speaking. So hopefully when the Fed starts speaking right now, the volatility will pick up a little bit. If it doesn't, then again, we're going to be a little careful with our positions here. There's a V1 variation that's currently running, but there's no confirmation of trend right now on the 1 minute. I don't know if anybody was identifying that, but there's one right there. I don't know if we have a strong bias right now at the moment. Let me check the fundamentals. Fundamentals are neutral. Retail sentiment obviously is bullish. Technicals over here, it's kind of messy. Yeah, short term right here is not bullish, so I wouldn't take that V1 variation. It's a V1 variation, but I wouldn't take it because for one, there's news right here, and then for two, there's no strong confirmation of bias. You need to have a pretty strong bias to take V1 variations. The reason why you do that is because when you have a V1 variation, it'll pretty much just go straight to TP with no drawdown, right? You don't want to have any uncertainty as to like where price is going to go. Like when you see that double body off the higher low, you want it to go straight to your TP, like without having to have to think twice. But yeah, with price kind of far down here near opening price, I think at this moment, it's not really going to be a very smooth ride for these entries here, because you need to have some sort of overall bias here. And this is also on the news channel. So let me mark up news real quick. So again, this is the news candle. You shouldn't be taking any trades on news. A lot of times it's restricted on FTMO anyway, so you probably shouldn't be taking trades around those places. But again, right here, there goes the V1 variation, straight to TP. I didn't take it, but just wanted to mark it up for you guys there if you guys are looking to take the V1s. So it seems like it's V1 season right now. If you guys have noticed, the V1s have been coming up. Every time they come up, they've been pretty solid. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said the V1s are back. Yeah, Vincent bias wasn't super bullish, so he didn't take it. Yeah, no, that's smart, Vince. I wouldn't have taken it either because the bias has to be pretty strong, right? Oh, it was right on the news candle too. So just keep in mind, guys, if you guys are taking the V1 variations, always check back to the overall bias. And I don't mean my overall bias because I'm not always updating it, but check on your own charts, right? Check the retail sentiment, check the fundamentals, check the short-term technicals, check the long-term technicals. Make sure that they're all lined up so that they meet your criteria, because I'm not always updating it here, but the bias is changing throughout the day, especially when we're in a volatile market where price just keeps going back and forth. All right, guys, the volatility here is pretty low. I'm hoping it picks up. The Fed is supposed to speak right now. So right now we have Fed Bar speaking, or we have Fed Waller speaking, and then we have Fed Bar speaking in about 5 minutes. They're just going to confirm a lot of the information here that was released this morning. The initial jobless claims, the 4-week average, the continuing jobless claims, export prices, import prices, Philly Fed price paid, industrial production, manufacturing production, et cetera. So basically all of the inflation and manufacturing and importing, exporting news is going to be, well, I mean, it was already announced, but the Fed here is going to announce what they're going to do about this, right? How is this going to affect the market? What needs to be changed, etc. And that's kind of what we're just waiting for. So prices started to move now, finally. Looks like the Fed might be saying something. You got to think about it. All the news here was negative, and the Fed is now confirming it. So prices starting to drop here. This is a good thing for us because we can probably start looking for any possible entries here. If this is the case, if the sell signal closes, we may be able to look for a possible momentum pullback scalp. If it doesn't close, then there's no entries there available just yet. The thing that you want to be careful for here is that the bias is still bullish. So even though price does come down, this might not hold. This might be a temporary push to the downside, and price might swing right back up. All right, so price is kind of bearish right here now. We have a setup here for a high-low momentum, high-low scalp V2. That is possibly setting up right there. Yeah, Maddie said might go down to open and bounce from there. I could see that too, Maddie. That's kind of what I was looking at. As I mentioned, how price is down here. Yeah, Maddie said he's not liking any sells right now. The trend is currently bearish, but you guys want to be careful because price might come down to opening price here, fake out, and come right back up. Yeah, I'll probably hold off on some sells for now because it's just kind of it's a risky area. We have the Fed speaking right now, 7:35. So we got the Fed speak. We got two Fed members speaking right now, Fed Barr and Fed Waller. Fed Waller's done, I guess. Fed Barr is now taking over. All right, so price is currently at opening price. It's trying to come down a little heavy here. Yeah, it's coming down pretty heavy. So price is now at the 1 hour support. Price broke down past opening price. It's currently at the 1 hour support. One thing I would look out for here is a possible bounce. So price came down right here, kind of faked out below the opening price, and this might be the bounce back up. There's no V1 there. If you guys are looking to take the momentum pullback scalp, this is going to be the opportunity here to take it. I'm not going to take the trade. I'll follow it for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. I think it's a little too risky here. It's really close to opening price. A lot of red flags around this area. It's just a really tricky area to be trading in. Also, the bias is so strong for a buy still, so I'm not really looking to take any sells here. If we had a better confluence, I would, but this right here, there's a lot of confluences not to take a trade, right? Because it's currently at the 1 hour support. Price can fake out right here. There's just a lot of things here to look out for. So if you guys are looking to take the momentum pullback scalp, the entry is going to be right here at the 70 mark. If price continues to drop down lower, then there's not going to be any entry for you guys to take, and you have to keep waiting for the next opportunity. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be the setup for it right there at the 70 mark. If you guys are looking to take it, I don't really recommend people take it, but if you guys want to, I've marked it up for you guys there. I'm not taking it myself. There's just too many things here indicating that price might swing up. For one, the retail sentiment's super high, and for two, prices at the 1 hour support level. So it's just the breeding ground for like fake outs right there. V3 just got hit right there that Andreas mentioned. So yeah, hopefully nobody's in this position. I'm gonna take it off. I don't want anybody to hop into it. But this is what I mean about what we do here, right? We don't necessarily look for wins here. We look for avoiding losses. So the way that we operate every day is we figure out, which trades to avoid, because if you guys can just learn how to avoid certain trades and you just win where you can win, your profits are going to continue to multiply. And that's really how we that's how we thrive in this community. Like if you guys look at any other groups, a lot of people are always focused on wins, right? But they never like pay attention to their losses. You'll see a lot of people who they'll have big wins, but then they'll have bigger losses and they're never profitable. For us here, we're not necessarily looking for huge wins. We're looking to avoid risky trades, and we're looking to take the almost guaranteed trades so that when the trades do hit, they just keep adding on and adding up along the week. This week's been a pretty good week so far. I mean, this week has been, we haven't had any losses this week. It's been pretty solid, straightforward. And it's been good. So, again, I'm just waiting for any opportunity here for us to get into any trade, but there's just still nothing for us to take here at the moment. So again, guys, just got to sit tight and wait for this here to play through. All right, let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, Randy said there's a high-low scalp V or high-low V2 running, but he didn't want to take the sell. Yeah, so there's currently a high-low V2 scalp, high-low scalp V2 that's currently running right now. Again, I wouldn't really recommend taking it, but it is running right now in profit. We'll mark it up here. I think it's in too risky of an area right now with it being so close to the opening price and with it being at the 1 hour support. I think this has been very helpful for us that I've been drawing the bigger zones because we typically don't draw the bigger zones like we do here. And, having the 1 hour and 4 hour resistance and support level has really been helping to avoid certain fake outs, right? So I'll continue to draw those levels there so that you guys can, again, you guys can avoid getting caught in these riskier trades. Because the thing is, price can come down. There's no guarantee price is going to bounce off this area. But if you have this in your mind and you kind of have an idea like, okay, this is probably risky, I should probably skip it, right? It'll help you from getting caught in, bad trades. And it'll also give you the opportunity to see bounces like this, like what Andreas identified earlier, the V3 variation right there. And you could have caught that for a buy instead of getting caught in a fake out sell. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. I'm always looking for new ways or improvised ways to trade more efficiently. So whenever I see something that looks helpful to us, I'm going to add it to the chart. I'm not just going to ignore it because I'm here for the same reason you guys are, right? I'm here to trade as efficient as possible, to make as much profit as possible at the end of every week. This week's been pretty good. I haven't had any losses, so I'm still being a little more careful with my entries here. But overall, I like how the market's now moving. Over the past 2 weeks, the market hasn't really been moving too smooth, but now it is moving a lot smoother than it was before. So anyways, guys, price is coming back down. Here's the high-low scalp V2. It's currently running in profit. I'm not in this position. If you guys are in it, it's a pretty nice move right there. I'd probably move your stop loss in profit. If you're happy with your profits here, I would just pull out partial because, again, it's at the 1 hour support. So it's at a risky area right here. You can see how price kind of fakes out around that area because it's bouncing directly off the 1 hour support. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. Andrew said, I forgot, is your coder working on a retail sentiment indicator? Yeah, so he's currently, it's kind of tough because we're trying to find the data that we can use. We tried to use the data on TradingView, but it's not good data. It's not the same as it would be for using the retail sentiment that we currently use. So he's currently working on it, but it's got a long way to go because we need to find some data sets to use. I wish they had the data here for but obviously they wouldn't sell their data for IG because it's like their own platform. Like if you were to trade on IG, like on their broker, they would provide this data. So I don't think they would sell the data to us, unfortunately. So yeah, we're continuing to work on that. It's harder when you need to find some API data to pull this stuff from, like something that's reliable, right? Because there's a lot of API data out there, but it's not reliable. Like it's nothing like this. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated if we have some update like that. You know, I'm going to try to get an indicator where it just has this on the chart at all times, right? They just have this on the chart at all times. We'll just turn on the indicator and it'll show you, you know, what retail sentiment is, fundamental bias, short-term technical, long-term technical, so that you guys have an idea at all times, where is everything sitting. There's a lot of indicators that are exactly, and Andrew said, and it's not intended for us US citizens. It's funny, whenever you guys go on the website and you click on that there, it'll say from December 19, 2022, it's no longer intended for the residents of the United States. I'm not a US resident. So again, on top of that, I can't even get the data because the obvious reason there. So yeah, I'm trying to create an indicator that will have the overall bias on the chart at all times. But the only problem with this is finding data for retail sentiment and for the fundamentals. I can make one for the short-term technicals and long-term. I mean, you could just use the trend meter down below. If you wanted to just change this setup and you wanted to know what the trend is for, like, say the 1 minute, 10 minute, you know, 1 hour, 4 hour, you could do that. And it'll show you down here, right? It's bearish right now, or it's kind of mixed, it's neutral. So, I mean, it can be done, but it's not exactly the best option. Yeah, Randy said it might be easier to make a widget using IG sentiment and CNBC fundamentals. Yeah, I could probably do that too. And there's a lot of different options to do. But yeah, I'm gonna let my coder do it. I tried to get into coding, guys, and I hired a mentor, but I don't know. I don't really get coding that much. I get the basics of coding, but when it gets to the more complicated stuff, it's just super complicated. I'd rather just stick to trading. I'll create the logic and I'll have my coder create the indicators because it's just a lot of work. I mean, maybe I'll come back to it and try to learn some more of the coding stuff, but it's just a lot of work, and it's a lot of work that I don't want to do. I think that's what it is. I'm just not interested in coding. If I had a better interest in it, then maybe I would do it. But at the moment, I guess I'm just kind of lazy. That's my excuse. I'm just lazy. Yeah, exactly. Ken said he feels that. I feel like for coding, you have to have like a passion for it. Yeah, Ken said it's a lot to take in when you're learning or barely getting into it. I agree. It's the same with trading, right? Trading and coding, they go hand in hand with each other. Like, in order for you to be a great trader, you have to actually enjoy trading. For you to be a great coder, you have to like enjoy coding. So yeah. And like what Ken said, you know, when you first start doing something, it's tough because it's a grind. You know, it's a grind until you start to understand and learn the basics. And then once you get good at it, then it becomes easy. Like trading is easy for me. I can explain logic to you guys pretty simply, especially with the strategies, but I can't explain to you like the schematics of, like, you know, creating this indicator and stuff like that. So yeah, Randy said I learned coding to make sure I'm not getting scammed when I hire coders. Yeah, no, and that's a good idea too. That's a super good idea because coding can be really easy. If you guys ever got into coding, like really basic coding stuff is like super simple. But when you get into stuff where you have to like factor in API and you have to factor in like webhooks and stuff like that, that's when it gets super complicated. But yeah, everything else is pretty simple. Oh, dang, Patricia said that MFF reopened. Again, guys, I'm not in this position right here. Hopefully you guys pulled out in profit when I was telling you guys down here, because it was so close to TP. It got like maybe a few pips away, and then price is kind of just bouncing back and forth. Patricia said MFF just reopened. I'm kind of curious. Let me check real quick. Well, it looks like the website is still down. I'm not sure. Where did you see that, Patricia? That they're open again? I'm assuming there's like breaking news somewhere. I'm trying to pull up the website. It's not up. Let me just Google search it. And there we go. Its price kind of bounces around. Yeah, Kenneth said it's a good idea to read the stuff they write. I kind of compare the experience with being a mechanic. You have all these tools at your disposal, but a new person would have no idea what to do with all the tools. Yeah, exactly, Kenneth. And that's kind of how I learned coding myself too. I don't know the language, but whenever my coder produces an indicator for me, I'll kind of like look it over and I'll see, okay, this is what he did to make this happen and stuff. And that's how I learned coding. I learned coding the same way I learned trading, all from trial and error and from scratch. So I don't know. Some people just learn that way. Like for me, I never really had a mentor. I never paid for a course. I kind of just learned everything from trial and error. I made mistakes, learned from it, and then I just got better. So. Patricia said they're reopening their court case. They won and unfroze their assets. I'm kind of curious if I should try to use MFF again because they were pretty decent. I don't know if I'll use them again though. Oh, I see. Okay, so the MFF website is up now. So they're up, but the case is just reopened. So if you pull up the MFF website, this is what it says. It says temporary receivership. So the case is still going on. It's just that I mean, we'll see. It's interesting that the case is being held in New Jersey. I didn't even know that they had people from New Jersey. The owners from New Jersey. Oh, gotcha, Patricia. Okay. And go hit up Kyle. Hey, Kyle, do you know this guy? That's funny. Yeah, no, it's yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with MFF. I mean, if they come back, I might just open like one account with them and then just add it to my copier and then just get payouts from them. I'm probably not going to try to max out accounts with them again because I mean, they still haven't paid me out. I don't think they're going to pay me out, but I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, Daniel said, I mean, if the feds went through everything that they had and they're good, probably safer than a prop firm without a case, honestly. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Daniel. But the thing is, their case isn't done yet, so I'll see what happens. They're probably gonna have to make some changes. Like they're gonna have to lower their leverage, and that's gonna suck, of course. They might have to adhere to like US law. So like instead of using a 1-to-100 leverage like FTMO and stuff, they might have to use like a 1-to-50 leverage or 1-to-20, which is what futures use. And it kind of sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. All right, Nick, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Nick's all done for the day. All right, guys, I don't think there's anything else for us to take here. The high-low scalp V2 is still currently running. I wouldn't really recommend chasing it. I mean, it's up to you guys if you guys want to hold on to it if you're still in the position. But again, you can see here how the market's not really moving directional. It's just going back and forth right now. So there's not really much of a reason to be getting into anything right now. There's no momentum pullback scalps. The high-low scalp V2 is currently running in profit. Price is kind of just ranging between opening price and the support level. So yeah, guys, other than that, I think that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If price comes down lower, it might come down and try to knock out the liquidity down here. But my assumption is that price is probably going to not do that and it's going to correct right back up. So, All right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and take individual screenshots of my profits real quick per account. And then if there's nothing for us to cover, I will wrap it up for the day. Again, today, a partial profit day. I mean, it's all good. I'd rather have partial profit than, no profit at all. So I'll take what I can get. The market here it's not great, but it's also not horrible. So I'm hoping the market continues to be a bit more lenient with us. But I mean, who knows? Alan said it's 65 today in New York. I'm going to enjoy it. Nice. I've never seen New York during the holidays. I was just talking to my barber about that yesterday. He's going to New York for the holidays. I'll be in Hawaii, but he'll be in New York. Definitely want to take a trip out to New York during winter weather. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I heard it's amazing out there. It was raining here yesterday, so it was pretty miserable. Whenever it rains here in California, it's like the end of the world for a lot of people. Yeah, it was pretty bad yesterday. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was bad compared to what everybody here is used to. Yeah, Alan said rain in New York stinks as it's a walking city. Yeah, no, I agree. I can only imagine out there. California is just crazy. When it rains here, you're probably better off not being on the road because everybody drives all dumb. Nobody knows how to drive in the rain. Okay, let me get this right here. Got a couple more accounts here to take screenshots of. Yeah, Alan said we drive like no matter what. And I heard that from Sisu. Sisu still here? Sisu knows. He's out already. Yeah, Andrew said in the 405. Yeah, no, all of pretty much all of the LA freeways are horrible, bro. Like during rain, 405, 110, the 5. And then also with that fire that happened in downtown, it must be crazy down there because I think like the whole 10 is like closed off. Those homeless people lit the freeway on fire. It's crazy. All right, guys, I took a screenshot of all my profits. Let me just post them up real quick. And I got so many accounts. I remember before when it was just taking my screenshot of my FTMOs, but now I got so many accounts that I got so many different posts to post up. I guess it's a good thing though, right? I can't complain. At least I'm profitable. I think that's the biggest thing. It sucks when you've been trading for so long and you're still not able to, find consistency. But it happens, eventually you guys will hopefully find consistency if you're at that point. Yeah, exactly. Andrew said today everyone ate on today. Everyone on the team ate today. Let's check over here. I didn't even check today's team profit. So looking over here, guys, sorry, I didn't even bother to look at everyone's team profits for the day. We have Alicia over here, total profit of 442 for the day. All wins there. Nice work, Alicia. We have Vince here. Nice work, Vince. All wins for the day. Total profit of 415. We've got Barack, total profit of 22,745 for the day. All wins here. We have Biza, total profit of 228. Nice work, Nick. We got Brock's earlier profits, 13,775. We got Gion total profit of 1,467 for the day, all wins. Nice work with those green strips, Gion. That's the best feeling when you get those full TPs. We got Andrew over here. Andrew said he got into the momentum pullback scalp. One account didn't copy, but did pretty solid. So for today so far, for the day, he locked in about 799 per account. One account, 1,219. And then for the week, he's up about 2,000, 3,000 per account. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7,000 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. Yeah, and nice claim back and recovery from those revenge trades you did. You know, sometimes you just gotta eat the loss and move on with it. So we got Dave over here, total profit of 787, all wins on that account. And Dave's second account, total profit of 872 for the day, all wins. Yeah, you guys are doing amazing today, guys. Eunice over here locked in the total profit of 458 on his top step. Nice work right there, Eunice. We got Felix over here, total profit of 2,050, all wins here. Nice work, Felix. Great work on pretty much the consistency and trading for all buys, right? You're trading the direction of the bias. You're doing pretty great. We have Shannon over here, total profit of 346 for the day. All wins there. Nice work, Shannon. We got Jonathan here, total profit of 433. Good work. Nice to see Jonathan here as well. We got Valentine, total profit of 1,345. All wins here. We got Lisa here. She just passed her 50K challenge. So nice work right there, Lisa. Great work. Total profit of 1,990 for the day. And yesterday she locked in the total profit of 684. So great work right there, Lisa, on getting funded. And then also David over here with a total profit of 62.17 for the day. All wins. Nice work, David. All right. So other than that, let me post up my profits over here as well. So here is my first account. Actually, we have Andreas here as well. Total profit for Andreas, total profit of 960 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Andreas. I'm going to add this over here. And then over here for my profits. So my first account here, this is my funded engineer. I locked in 330. That's my funded engineer 1. Here's my FTMO locked in 340. It's my first FTMO. My second FTMO, this is my main account. You can see the green strip locked in 980. All wins there. Here is my third FTMO locked in 680. All wins there as well. We have my second funded engineer account, total profit of 160. Right there. Here is my personal account for Hero FX locked in 78. Here's my second personal account locked in 120. Here's my TFF locked in a total profit of 400. And my second TFF, same thing, locked in a total profit of 400 as well. So there goes all of my profits for the day so far. So looking at this over here, let's see, I'm going to go and add this up real quick. So for the day so far, 330 plus 340 plus 980 plus 680 plus 160 plus 70 plus 120 plus 365 plus 365. Total profit of 3,410 for the day. And then for the week so far, I'm up 2,330, 2730, 4140, 5460, 1115, 550, 900, 2526, 2426, total profit of 22,177. So those are my profits for the day and the week so far, up 3,000 for the day, up 22,000 for the week. So pretty solid, guys. I mean, it's you know, I didn't really take very many trades this week. I'm not even going to count today's official trade, or it wasn't really an official trade. I took a partial, and it It was a accidental trade. So for the week so far and for the month, we've been on a pretty decent winning streak. You know, I'm just sticking true to my trading strategies and my trading plan, and I've been doing pretty solid. So I'm not catching huge profits, but you know, the profits are adding up across all my accounts. As you guys can see here, there's nothing going on. Price is going back and forth. No reason to continue trading here. So I think that's about it, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, this is about it for the day. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session as we wrap up the week. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys back.